Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather channel. It's the Chelsea Godfather reporting back to duty. Please subscribe to my channel for regular Chelsea updates. We're on the road to 2,000 subs. So every little itty bitty sub is much appreciated. Guys, let's jump right in. No time to waste. Toney. Toney, that's the 6'1" bruising striker from Brentford FC. That's a club that plays in London. So you guys already know he has a house that's not too far from Stamford Bridge, and based on reports today from Sky Sports News, they're saying basically that Chelsea has appears to have opened up talks or to indicated some kind of interest or made some kind of approach with regards to the possibility of signing Ivan Toney to Chelsea. As you guys know, Ivan Toney, again, he's 6'1". He's 28 years old. He turned 28 in March this year. He has 1 year left on his contract. He's at Brentford. He's based on reports, he's earning anywhere from 20 to 30,000 per week, which is chicken change, which is definitely not an issue there. He's definitely quote unquote Premier League proven. Again, he has 1 year left. Based on the reports, the transfer fee demand is somewhere upwards of £50 million, which is just crazy for a player with 1 year left on his contract. And then plus 28 years old, right? By the time this, he's really like 6 months into his 28th year. So he's 28 for me, 28 going on 29. Right. You guys can see where this thing is going. I mean, a lot of folks have seen this potential deal, and the instant reaction is, hey, bring Ivan Toney, bring him to Chelsea. He's what we need. But sometimes we just have to slow down and look at things critically. And for me, when I talk about looking at things critically, I'm talking both in terms of from a financial consideration and also from footballing consideration as well. Let's start with the easy one. The easy obvious consideration is the financial. Guys, this ownership group is if there's one thing that they have been painfully consistent on is on the financial end. I mean, every deal they do has to make financial sense. It has to make financial sense, and that's why a lot of Chelsea fans have been critical of the moves because right our average age, I believe, on our game against Wolves, our oldest player was Mark Kukurea, and he's 26 years old. Guys, that gives you an idea. That gives you an idea in terms of the type of players, the profile, the age profile of players. It's intentionally done. It's not by luck. It's intentional, and they're not playing around. They have a policy of the type of players no older than 25. It's almost like it's a hard cap. It's almost like it's a hard cap. Now, if and when this ownership goes for players that are a little bit older, it's usually on a free transfer. It's usually on a free transfer. Again, financially, the deal has to make sense. They usually go for like older players when it's on a free transfer deal, right? Like Thiago Silva and recently Tosin, right? Tosin, the defender we got from Fulham. So those, and I believe Tosin is only about 26, but even he arrived on a free. Guys, these owners are not messing around from a financial. It's about investment because it's an investment group that pretty much ultimately owns Chelsea. So every player that they buy, that this investment group invests money in, has to make sense from a financial point of view. And with the from the financial side of view of Ivan, Toney, right? At 28 now, he's not like a quote unquote old player. He's pretty much in he's like basically in the middle of his prime. So he's not necessarily over the hill per se, but at 28 and by next year he's going to be 29, right? That doesn't leave if you sign him on a 5-year deal, right? By the time he turns by the time by the end of his contract, he's going to be 33 years old, and that's going to, even with 2 years left on his deal, he's still going to be around 31. His residual value with 2 years left on his contract is going to be a lot less than Gallagher or Mason Mount with 1 year left on their deal when they're like what 23 or 24 years old. So that from a financial a point of view, there's some concern there. So the quoted fee of 50 million pounds not gonna happen. 40 million pounds not gonna happen. 30 million pounds, I doubt it. I could possibly see 30. I can possibly see them shelling out 30 for a player 28 years old with 1 year left, up to maybe 25.5. Sorry, 25 million pounds fixed plus 5 million pounds of add-ons, something on that neighborhood. But for me, the closer the transfer fee is closer to 20, then the more likely that Chelsea could possibly get this deal done. So there's still a lot of work to be done. And also, keep in mind that Ivan Toney and Brentford, they currently have an interest from Saudi. I believe it's Al-Ahli. Right? They have an interest for they pretty much made an offer. I believe based on reports, Ivan Toney stands to earn anywhere as high as 300,000 pounds per week. That a guy again, he's 28. That's too much money. That's a lot. I just, quite frankly, if I'm Tony, unless Chelsea comes up to at least like a buck 50, somewhere around there. I mean, I'm probably just gonna just call it a day, an early retirement, and just go to Saudi Arabia. So financially, there's a lot of question mark in terms of the possibility of Chelsea getting this deal done. Then from a footballing perspective, right? Tony gives us, obviously he gives us a profile that we don't have. He gives us the bruising forward that we need, the physical presence that Jackson does not have. In fact, we don't have any player. The nearest player that we have with that kind of presence is Mark Gui, and he's only 18 years old. He's not even ready to play in the Premier League. You guys have already seen him, right? I mean, he's a very good player, but a very young and green player. So really, all we have is Jackson. So Jackson definitely is not about, oh, don't bring this striker because we need to give Jackson a chance. Well, the reality is even Jackson alone is nowhere near enough. So, but for me, the question is Tony, right? If you're going for a striker, for me, you should go for a striker that's well above what we have and is going to, right, demand to play week in, week out. That's the player that we need to lift this club to the next level. We don't need another, good striker. Ivan Toney, right? With all due respect, very good striker. But come on now, Ivan Toney on this squad is gonna be another player, a squad player. Will he help us? Yes, he will help us. He will definitely help us. But is he a player that on game day you would expect every single game day that he will be in the starting uh, 11? The answer is no. The answer is no, because we, even with as great as Ivan Toney is, Jackson is still much better than him in pretty much just about every other facet of the game. I know we like to criticize Jackson a lot because Jackson misses tons of chances, but the reality is, apart from the fact that he does miss a lot of chances, nobody, no sane Chelsea fan can criticize Jackson pretty much in any other aspect of the game. I mean, the boy is a baller. That's the reality, and you only get to realize how good Jackson is. You only get to appreciate how good Jackson is and has been for us is when Jackson does not play, and you see any other striker, whether it's Broya. Remember, Chelsea fans, oh, Broya is better than Jackson. Well, Broya, nobody's saying anything about Broya anymore, right? The same thing, Margui this, Margui that. Well, I think it's obvious, right? So Jackson is very good. He's really good. Obviously he's not good enough in terms of finishing. That's where it will make sense to get another striker. But for me, if that's what we need another striker that is at least a level or two above Jackson. And Ivan Toney, with all due respect, is just not that guy. He's not that guy for me, personally, because we have Jackson, we have Palmer at first line, we have Christopher Nkunku, we have Joao Felix, we have a lot of players that can just jump in and out of that role and that can score from time to time. Once this Maresca attack begins to flow and click perfectly, we have a lot of solutions. So bringing in Ivan Toney, who, again, let's be real, he's going to be a squad player. Is he going to ruffle? He's not going to ruffle the players. He's going to be happy to be on the squad, and that's all good. But if you want to win, sometimes you need that ruffler. You need that Drogba level player. Drogba was a ruffler. He wants to play every Lampard. They want to play every single game because they believe if they don't play, we're not going to win. And they're there to help us win. That's what we need. That's where Osimhen is for me is above Ivan Toney. And I've watched both of the players severally. I've watched both of the players severally. For one thing, Osimhen is better in terms of his work rate up front, his pressing. He does a lot. He does so much for his team, beyond his goals. But I know right now he's not a lot of fans favorite because he will not reduce his wage demands. But guys, we just have to keep on waiting. We have to keep waiting until the final day of the window. That's what I feel. We have to keep waiting. I mean, Ivan Toney for me is a last case option. If there's no way for Osimhen, then of course we should go for Ivan Toney, and there's no problem there. But if there's still a possibility of getting Osimhen, we should try and get Osimhen. But last, if Brentford will not bring their transfer fee down to a reasonable number, there's no need to throw away 30 plus million pounds on a player that's going to be turning 30 in about a year and a half. That's how I feel. How do you guys feel? Leave your comments below. Like this video, share this video. God bless you guys. Peace.